Okay, I've got more to say. Now, well, for starters, okay, I completed 10 of these drawings I like to make. And, although usually my response to, people trying to move my ass along and say, hey, buddy, get on up here, is to, like camp out another week. The fact is, I would like to do a little bit of, walkabout through December. That's a great time to make money and, like maybe take these drawings to West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, kind of that area where I stay when I'm out there, and just have a great time. Now, as far as politics, it's like what I had like this long, drawn out speech, but then it's like I drew a blank. I've just been distracted, smoking too much weed or something. Well, I guess I would say to repeat and paraphrase and say, well, you know what? I'm gonna get back to this. Well, oh yeah, that's the one. It's like liberals say, drag that man away and get him some help, and Republicans say, drag that man away and make him pay. And you know what? Both of those are morally identical. That's to say, instead of paying that man, we are going to assign a bureaucrat that is going to earn $1 million so that I don't have to share it with them. For each of these bureaucrats, 1,000 of those guys are out of my sight. And that's a problem we really need to attack as a society. It's like, I just don't feel that that's right. And I'm kind of a crazy weirdo myself, and I kind of just sometimes feel afraid that somebody's just going to be like, hey, buddy, you're a crazy weirdo. I challenge your autonomy due to your unconventional lifestyle, which isn't faggy or anything, or isn't illegal or anything, except, a million little broken laws every day, as far as vagrancy and trespassing and blah, 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 etc. But, I think that, well, I don't know. Like I said, as far as, like, what do I want? And me, I want to be the only homeless person around. I want to camp out without a sense of, community foisted on me. Because, like, I really feel no kinship with this. I feel kinship with the extremes of wealth, which I don't reflect in my existence much, if any. But it's like that's what I feel akin to. But, oh, wait, yeah, that's the racist thing that I was getting ready to do, was, like, to talk about the American population. Now, if all immigration were to be shut down, then there would be a declining table that would halve the population before it started to go up again. I'm telling you, that would happen. And I'm wondering, okay, now, that's why this whole thing about, like, our immigration system is designed now to accommodate an economic model that depends on more and more people all the time to work. Now, I'm wondering is if this reduction in population that I'm postulating, if that were to occur, could we design an economic model? Would we even have to? I think it would shake down to a point where every damn one of us would be like a king among men with billions of dollars and yada, yada, yada in the changing of that time. But has there ever been a time in history where, reduction in populace that was caused by aboriginal hybridization. Like I said, why does the population go down like that? That's Native America all up in you, white, black, red, brown, and yellow. Okay, that's why the population decreases like that when we shut immigration. But what I'm saying is, can we adjust our economic policy to where everybody gets richer anyway? I think that's the reason it's done that way is because everybody would get richer with the population, like dropping in cycles that way. Everybody would get richer. Whereas if it goes up in cycles the way it is now, the process can be bottled and made exclusive, so only a tiny number of people benefit from it. And I think that's really going to be, well, like I said, it's a philosophical question. It's like, given that we have no intention, well, I wouldn't say no intention, but like I said, I think that if you were to cut immigration before it even started to go up again, I think generationally it would drop. And, there would be a slight little bounce in that because of tiny little pockets of, like, Arabs and shit having 5 kids. But even they would spread out and lay flat, breathe down. And like I said, as far as the amount of time it would take, figure about 200 years. 200 years, the population would have gone from 200 million to, 100 million. It's actually more like 300 million now. But we'll say in 200 years from now, if we would shut immigration completely, the population will have reduced to maybe 150 million, maybe 125 million. And then gradually it'll be right there at the point where it's starting to bounce and go back up again. Slowly, I might add. Now, like I said, could an economic model, or has an economic model designed to service that and make people more and more wealthy per capita by reductive generations? Has that ever happened? Has that happened in the history of written language? What are the most akin things to that have ever happened? And do the people that own this practically empty continent that we live on have the moral authority to do that at all, even a little? Or is this empty continent we live on, a global resource just like oil? Now, these aren't trivial questions to me, but I think it's fair to say that there is no intersectionality between Native Americans and any Hispanic favoritism group at all whatsoever. But again, the Hispanics are also sort of Native Americans too. That's where the brown animal comes from. But it's like the difference between East Asia and India. That says it all. The South American natives are a little bit like the people of India. The North American people are a little bit like the East Asians. But again, like I said, that's my question. And, like I said, I want the smartest economists there are working on this, thinking about it, and, like I said, expressing, exploring, and discovering the morality of what a governing body's authority is when it, not authority, but moral consequence. They're like, oh, you wouldn't trip that little immigration kid. I believe there's enough for everyone. But if you knew for a fucking fact, there's not enough for everyone, it's either your child dies or that child gets tripped on the beach. If that's the moral of the thing, for a fact, then you know what? Frankly, I think you're being an asshole to your own kid if you choose that kid instead of yours. Now, I don't have kids, but forgive me if I've, assumed your morals wrong. Forgive me if I've